Hello everybody, in this video we are going to discuss about vector laws using which you can add or subtract two vectors. So this is going to be very interesting because at the end of this lecture you will be able to add or subtract two physical quantities which have both magnitude and direction, right? So you will be able to add and subtract vectors. So this lecture will be mostly dedicated to vector addition and subtraction. Of course, we are going to use vector laws for it. So vector addition first. So we are going to learn about vector addition first and then extend the concept to vector subtraction. Okay. So let's go to scalars first, right? How do you add two scalars, right? For example, if you have masses, two masses, right? Mass is a scalar. So if you have 2 kgs here, 3 kgs here, boom, you just add it, right? 2 plus 3, 5 kgs. Okay, because you just add the magnitude is what the scalars have. They don't have anything other than that, so you just add it. But coming to vectors, it is you can't just add it, right? It has a direction as well. You have to consider the direction as well. Like suppose we have velocity, suppose it's 3 meters per second, and also other velocity. If you want to add two velocity, okay, if you want to add two velocities, one is 3 meters per second in that direction, one is 3 meters per second in this direction. Now you can't just add it. 3 plus 3, 6. No, it actually the answer is 0, right? 3 in that direction, 3 in this direction. The result will be 0. But yeah, so the point is direction also matters. For vectors, direction also matters. So for addition and subtraction of vectors, we have two laws, namely the triangle and the parallelogram law. So which we'll be studying, and we'll apply those to get the result. So how do you add and subtract two vectors? So these answers you will get through the two laws, through triangle and the parallelogram law. So first, coming to the triangle law, so it states that, now we won't go into the proofs of this. So it states, if tail of one vector is placed on the head of other vector. Now I hope you are familiar with these terms, heads and tails, not the ones on your coin. It's this, right? So we learned this in the introductory lecture, okay, lecture 1. I'll suggest it over here. You can check it out after this lecture, okay? Not that important, but yeah, just skim through it. So this is the head and this is the tail for those who don't know. So if tail of one vector is placed on the head of the other vector, then how do you add them? So the resultant vector, of course, when you add two vectors, the resultant will be a vector. When you add two scalars, you get a scalar. When you add two vectors, you will get a vector. So resultant vector is a vector from, so the resultant is a vector which is a vector from tail of first to head of second. Okay, so we'll try to visualize this. Suppose we have two vectors. Now let's take the simplest case, like the one which the law suggests. So if tail of one vector, suppose we take another vector b now, suppose b, so this is b. Now can you see that tail of b, this is the tail of b, right? Tail of b is over here. Tail of b is placed on head of a. Tail of one vector is placed on head of other. So tail of b in our case is placed on the head of vector a. Okay, tail of b is placed on head of a. So the resultant, their resultant will be a vector which is from tail of first, tail of a. So first is a, of course. Okay, first is a, second is b. Okay, so the resultant vector will be a vector from tail of a to head of b, tail of a to head of b. Okay, so this is the resultant vector. You can say r equals vector a plus vector b. Okay, so this is what the triangle law states. Okay, now I know it will be a bit confusing. Tailhead, what is going on? So we'll try to have a simple analogy for it. Okay, so even if you had something like, suppose, now this is suppose vector A and this is vector B. Okay, now I ask you for A plus B, draw A plus B. Okay, so draw A plus B. Okay, don't tell me its magnitude. Draw A plus B. So you can see, look out for tail head combination. Now this method is also called tail head method. Okay, tail head method, because you look out for their combination, right? Look if tail of the first is matching with the head of the second. So that is the only thing you have to look for, and then apply this, right? First look if the tail of one vector is on the head of the other, right? Tail and head together, and that's how you make a coin. No, that's how you add vectors. Okay, so tail of B is on the head of A. Yes, condition satisfied. So the resultant vector will be tail A plus B, right? A plus B. So vector from A, so vector from A to B, right? From A to B. So tail at the first vector and head towards the second vector, right? So this is resultant, this is R vector is A vector plus B vector. So that is the logic behind triangle law. I'll simplify it, not using now we won't use tail head logic. It's a bit confusing, I know, but you can note it down as of now. Okay, I'll give you a simple analogy. Okay, so I'll give you a simple analogy now, because this head tail logic is a headache. Okay, excuse me. Okay, so now get into the story. Suppose this is your house, this point is your house, this is your school. Okay, your friend has invited you for a party, of course at his house, not at school, friend's house. Okay, so you have two routes to go to it. First is you directly go to your friend's house, right? Why go to school unnecessarily? Okay, so directly go to your friend's house, that is one route, or you can choose the school route, right? These are just routes. Okay, so first you can go to school, and from there you can go to your friend's house. So in either of the case you reach the party, right? So will it be safe to say that going from your house to your friend's house is same as going from your house to school and from school to friend's house? Are you getting my point? Going from your house to your friend's house, is it same as going from your house to school and from school to your friend's house? So if I had to write that in vector notation, you can see that yes, right? R vector is A vector plus B vector, right? So this is the triangle law if you see, right? So it is not that complicated. You can use this simple analogy, right? Going from your house to your friend's house, because in either of the cases you reach the party. That is the main point. So going from your house to friend's house is same as going from your house to school and from school to the friend's house, right? So from here to here, so either you go from here to here or you take this route, right? So A plus B is same as R. A plus B, vector A plus vector B is same as vector R. So that is what vector law is, right? Instead of this whole head tail thing. Okay, now let's try to find out resultant of some vectors, though this type of questions won't be asked, but just to develop an intuition of this. Okay, so if you have this A and B vector, okay, A and B vector, how will you find the resultant using the triangle law? Okay, so if you want to try it, you can go ahead and try it. Now you can see that the first condition itself is not satisfied, right? If tail of one vector is placed on the head of other vector, condition not satisfied, they are apart, right? Tail of one is not on the head of the other, right? I've asked you for A plus B, draw A plus B vector, resultant vector. So one thing, do you know that vectors can be moved parallelly? Vectors can be shifted parallelly. So if you shift a vector parallelly, they won't change. Like now if you have B over here, right? This is from the previous lecture. Okay, you can check it out. So if you move this b without changing its length, length represents the magnitude, right? Previous class. Okay, so without changing its length, if you shift it parallelly, you can shift it parallelly as in how you want. This is b, right? You can shift it parallelly in the plane wherever you want, but don't change its angle, right? Don't change its angle. The arrow where it's pointing, don't change it. Also don't change its length, right? Unless you mess up with that, you are safe to shift it parallelly. You are safe to shift it parallelly. You cannot mess up with its length and its uh, pointing direction, right? You cannot change the angle. Okay, so yeah, so shift the vector b parallel, right, such that tail of b coincides with the head of a. Tail of b coincides with the head of a. So it's just shift it, right? Now I am not drawing it scale wise, but just giving you an idea how will it be, right? So you'll bring that b over here. So somewhat like this, right? And what is the resultant now? The resultant will be from the tail of the first to the head of the second. Going from A to B, okay, let's name it OAB. Okay, just naming for sake, okay, OAB. So going from O to A and A to B is same as going from O to B directly. Okay, that logic. Friend's house going from your house to from your house to school, and from school to friend's house is same as going from your house to friend's house. Okay, so this is the resultant vector a plus b, vector a plus vector b. Simple, right? So we are just developing an idea. It's of no use as far as J is concerned and your other competitive exams are concerned. Okay, so one more can we have, okay, of this type. So vector a plus vector b. Okay, now find okay, find b plus a. Now try this. Don't find a plus b, find b plus a. And after this you will also note that a plus b. Okay, I won't tell you that, you have to note it. Okay, so find a plus b and also find b plus a and also find a plus b. Okay, now b plus a is simple, sir. B plus a is simple. What will you do? Okay, a plus b is simple. We'll do that first. So a we have. Now get the head tail form, right? Head tail form. Don't change the length, sir. Okay, so head of the first, tail of the second. Head of the first. We are calculating this first. Okay, this is the first case. Okay, so head of the first, tail of the second. So tail of the second. Okay, head of the first, tail of the second. Okay, what is the resultant? Tail of the first to the head of the second. Triangle law. Okay, going from here to here and then from here to here is same as going from here to here. Okay, now find b plus a. The second case. Okay, the second case b plus a. So now head, now you have to flip, right? It should be b, head of the first, head of b, head of b. So this is head of b and tail of a, right? So you shift this a now. In the previous case we shifted that b over here, right? We shifted b over here. Now shift a over here, so such that its tail comes over here. Now you have not changed the length, you have just shifted it parallel, right? Neither have you changed the angle. So b plus a, can you see that? So this is b plus a, right? Sorry for that. Actually not, because can you note it from here that a plus b equals b plus a. Vector a plus vector b is vector a plus vector b is same as vector b plus vector a. What does this mean? It's commutative, right? How did you note that, sir? Because see this r vector, right? It's, can you see both of these r vectors are parallel, right? And if you had to plot this graphically, they would have been of the same length. Now I I'm drawing on the board, so I have neglected all the length and all of the aspects, so it is not showing up the same length. You can draw it on the graph paper. You'll have exactly the same length and they will be parallel. So it's just like the r vector is shifted parallel, or this, right? Vector a plus vector b is same as vector b plus vector a. Okay, so this is the property that you can mug up. Okay, now what more can we speak on? So actually that was all about the triangle law. So if you want to practice more, okay, I'm going to use cheat codes now. Okay, so you do it by the triangle law. Okay, so if you have a and b vectors in this way, you have to find the resultant. What is the resultant? A plus b, right? A plus b, to find a plus b. Okay, now I will use the cheat code. My cheat code says this thing. Okay, I'll tell you how I got this, but you try it by the triangle law. Okay, so first you will draw the vector a this way, and what will you say? The head of the tail of vector b should be on the head of a. Second vector's tail should be on the head of first. Second tail, head of first. So you have to shift that b, right? If you see, both of their tails are matching, but we want head tail combination, right? So head of this, head of a, tail of b, tail of b. So we have to shift that. Shift b over here, shift b over here. Don't change its angle, the direction where it's pointing, don't change it, and don't change the length. Okay, I'm not drawing it perfect. Okay, so what does your triangle law say now? It says r will be in this direction, from the tail of first to the head of the second, tail of first, head of second, right? And r equals vector a plus vector b. And if you see this, these two vectors are parallel. If actually you plot it on graph, you'll get these two as perfectly parallel and they will have the same length. Okay, so actually this and both of this, the cheat code that I am using and your triangle law are giving us the same result. Okay, one more, I'll tell you what the cheat code is, but patience for now. Okay, so if you have a and b this way, okay, I'll take this as b just for convenience, can be anything. Okay, a and b, and my cheat code says that it should be, the resultant should be somewhat like this. Okay, so what does your triangle law say? So a, vector a, same way, and now we want a plus b, right? We want resultant a plus b. So tail of the second one on the head of the first, tail of the second on the head of the first. So shift b, right? We are shifting b. So shift the tail of b over here and don't change its angle, right? So don't change where it's pointing. So b, perfect. So we just shifted b without changing its length. And now what does your resultant has to say? It will be from tail of the first to the head of the second. So r equals vector a plus vector b. Okay, so if you see both of this, actually if you plot it on graph, they will be perfectly parallel and equal in length. Okay, so I'm not drawing it up to scale. So anyways, approximately you can see that both of them are parallel, and the cheat code satisfies what you get from the triangle law. So this cheat code that I am using is not a cheat code, actually it's the second law. Okay, it's the parallelogram law that I am using. So the only idea that I have to put in your head is parallelogram and the triangle parallelogram law and the triangle law are not two very distinct things, right? So they are the same things. You'll get the same results through parallelogram and same results through triangle law. Okay, so if you know the triangle law, you directly know the parallelogram law as well. Oh, so it's no special thing. Okay, we'll discuss it, but of course, because it's simpler, right? It was easier to solve through parallelogram law than I was calling it cheat code. gave us fast answers. Okay, so let's discuss parallelogram law. So if I'm stating it now, if two vectors have their tails, I hope you are comfortable with this now. Okay, if two vectors have their tails at a common point, was it so in the previous two cases? Right. So if two vectors have their tails at a common point, so their resultant, the addition, of course, the resultant is the addition over here. So their resultant is given by diagonal of parallelogram. Where is the diagonal? Where is the parallelogram? Okay, I'll tell you, just note it for now. So their resultant is given, resultant will be a vector, right? Yes. So resultant is given by the diagonal of parallelogram taken by taking these two vectors as adjacent sides. Taking these two vectors, how to say that? These two vectors as adjacent sides. Okay, so let's take the simple condition. So two vectors have their tails at common point. So this is vector A and suppose this is vector B. Okay, this is vector A, this is vector B, have their tails at the common point, right? These are the tails of both at the common point. Easy. Now the resultant will be given by the diagonal of parallelogram. So where is the parallelogram? You have to complete it. These are the two adjacent sides. The other two vectors are the adjacent side. The two vectors are the adjacent side. So you have to complete this parallelogram, right? How to complete this? You know parallelogram, opposite sides are equal and parallel, right? So you draw a parallel side to this vector A and parallel to this you draw side, other side. Okay, so you complete the parallelogram. Okay, so somewhat like this. So the resultant will be given by the diagonal of parallelogram. Okay, so this is the resultant. And how did you tell its direction, sir? So remember that the diagonal should be from the common point, right? Remember this, diagonal should be from the common point. If you want A plus B, okay, diagonal from the common point, from here to the that diagonal. Okay, basically, so you complete the parallelogram and then draw the diagonal. So the direction is from the common point to the along the diagonal. Okay, from the common point, that is the main thing. So its tail is also on the common point. Now if you want to visualize this, do I have something over here? Yes. Okay, so if you want to visualize this, you can suppose, okay, I'll give you the theory behind this. Now I am going to use a rubber band. Okay, so I'm going to stretch it this way. Okay, this way. Okay, this way. Okay, so there will be a force. Okay, this is tension. Okay, I'll write force F and F, right? So I'll show you. Okay, so this is a rubber band. When I pull it, there is a force. It says come back. This side says come back over here, and this also says come back, right? So there are two forces this way, right? This way. So there are two forces this way, right? So can you see both of those forces? Force is a vector. So both of these vectors have their tails at a common point. So this is the condition, right? This is the condition, right? Okay. So what will be their resultant? Resultant will be the diagonal. So complete this parallelogram, and the resultant will be this way, right? Some values will find in the next class. Okay, we'll get formula for this to find the magnitude, and also for the direction we'll have the analytical way in the next class. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, so dogs have to contribute to each video of mine. Anyways, so coming back, where was I? Okay, so we are going to visualize this. Suppose, okay, I'm dragging this rubber band. So this is the case, right? This is the case. So it this side says come back. So there is a force in this direction, come back. This side saying come back, and this side also says come back. That's why it comes back to the initial position, right? So there is force in this direction and this direction. Where should be the resultant? In the upward direction. Now this is something which you did in your school, like you threw papers, right? So yeah. Okay, let's do no damage to property. Okay, so I'm going to leave this. You can play it in slow-mo, okay, and see that. Okay, the resultant will be in the upward direction. Was it right? I'll do it again. You can play that in slow motion. Even I'm going to watch this now. Okay, right? The resultant was in the upward direction. Okay, so yeah, that's how you visualize it. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so you can note that down. So that was all about parallelogram law. You can have problems like the ones we had in triangle law. Now you can have two vectors and you'll be asked to find their resultant a and b. How will you find a plus b? Get their tails together now, not head and tail. Now put the tails together, complete the parallelogram, draw the diagonal from the common point, right? Or you can also do it by triangle law. These two are not very distinct. Okay, you can note that down. No more talks. Okay, so I hope the law is clear to you with the visualization. I'm going to watch it in slow-mo. Okay, so that was all about addition. Now let's go to vector subtraction. Okay, vector subtraction. So subtraction is not very new thing. Okay, it's same as addition. What if I say it's same as addition? Okay, what am I saying? Okay, so how, sir, how? So a minus b, I'm saying it is same as addition. So how can I write it? I can write it as a plus minus b. Okay, you got the idea, you got the idea. What did I do? A minus b, vector a minus vector b is same as vector a plus minus vector b. This is the second vector. So I'm treating minus b as my second vector. Okay, so how to draw minus b? Suppose this is b. Okay, this is b. How to draw minus b? This is b vector, of course. And how to draw minus b? Okay, that is something which we learned in the previous class. Did we? Okay, then learn it now if you don't know. This is minus b. Okay, you just flip that by 180. Flip. Okay, this was the logic that we used in 1D. One side positive, other side negative. That's why it worked. Anyways, so how to draw minus b? Minus b is just flip it. Flip it by 180 degree. So the logic to draw a negative of a vector is flip by 180 degree. Right? So any vector you have, suppose you have a in this direction and you want to find minus a, what do? Flip it by 180 degree, flip it by 180 degree, draw the same magnitude, right? A and minus a will have the same magnitude but the directions are opposite. That is what it is. Okay, so vector addition and subtraction is no new thing, right? B and minus b, right? It's just like adding a plus minus b. Okay, what am I saying? So suppose you have, let's try it now. You have vector a and you have vector b, right? Now find a minus b, vector a minus vector b. So what will you do? You'll say it as it is same as vector a plus vector minus b, right? Okay, so this is simple now, right? So what will you do? Vector a as it is, sir. Vector b, we don't want vector b, we want vector minus b. Vector minus b, flip it by 180 degree, flip it by 180 degree. So vector minus b. Okay, So you got vector A and vector minus B. Now you have to add both, right? Vector A plus vector minus B. Vector A plus vector minus B. So add these two. How will you do that? Use any of your laws, triangle, parallelogram. Okay, vector A plus vector minus B. So I will use parallelogram law. So this is how the resultant should look like. Okay, resultant will be A minus B. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, it was like, suppose about the parallelogram law, suppose here we took B, right, and here we took vector A, vector B, and if you, what was their addition, the resultant, this R was A plus B, right, this diagonal is A plus B according to parallelogram law. Right, and if you want to by heart, you can, this diagonal is A minus B, A R equals A minus B. You can actually see it through here. Actually I got a reminder about it from here. Okay, right, A minus B. So this was actually the parallelogram, same problem. If you see A and B, right, A and B are in the same direction. So if you want to remember, no compulsion, if you want to remember one diagonal from the common point A plus B, from B to this direction, the other diagonal is A minus B, vector A minus vector B. No compulsion. If you want to remember, you can do so. Okay, so subtraction logic is over here. You can note that down. Okay, so that was about subtraction. Now we will discuss some questions based on geometry. You won't have many questions in this section. Okay, you won't have questions being asked from vector laws. The main thing was to understand the foundation, the laws, okay, and how to apply them. That was the main thing. You won't have much of calculative problems from here, questions asked for competition from here. Today's lecture was meant for understanding. If you have understood it, it's well and good enough. Okay, so you might have questions like, okay, so I'll give you question. Suppose this is 37 degrees. Okay, this is vector A, I'll say. Okay, vector A, I'll directly give you the magnitude. Okay, wait, this is 53 degrees, so this is 6, this is 8, and tell me the, okay, these are the magnitudes. Okay, keep that in mind. Suppose this is vector A and this is how you represent magnitude, class 1, okay, first lecture, and this is magnitude of B. Okay, so find the resultant. So this is the resultant, right? By triangle law, this will be the resultant. Going from here to here and then from here to here is same as going from starting to the ending point. So find the magnitude. So we didn't discuss about the magnitude, sir, right? So this is what, right? This is geometry based problems. So let's tell me about this angle. Okay, let's find this angle. Okay, so how will you do that? So let's call it x. So x plus 53 plus 37 equals 180 degree. Why? Angle sum property, right? Who does not know this? So 53 plus 30, 50 plus 30, 80, 7 plus 3, 10, so 90. 90, and we have 180 on the other side. So x is 180 minus 90, which is, it's a right angle triangle. Okay, so now can you find it? Right, now can you find it? So problems based on geometry will be mostly dealing with Pythagoras theorems. Okay, so you have to look out for Pythagoras theorems and some logic of your triangle and parallelogram law. Okay, so this was 90 degrees, so 6, 8, 10 if you remember the triplets, or if you don't remember, a square plus b square equals c square. Okay, so when did we learn this? Okay, so yeah, so a square 8 square 64, b square 6 square 36 is equal to c square. C square is under root of this, so this will be 100, right? 60, 30, 90, 4, 6, 10. Okay, so c is 10, right? under root 100 is 10. We'll just consider the magnitude, the positive sign. So the magnitude of r is 10. So basically you'll have problems mostly on Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so some of them are north south types. I'll tell you that. The second problem. So the second problem is of the, so suppose that northeast type problem. Okay, so suppose a man starts from O. Suppose O is the initial point from where he starts, and now moves 5 kilometers east, then turns left and moves 12 kilometers. Okay, so he turned left and moved 12 kilometers. Now find the displacement. So displacement, if you remember, was a vector. Displacement from initial position, Okay, so if you want to try it, you can. Should I give you the options? Okay, just try it as a subjective type. Okay, so we'll draw this. Suppose north is in this direction, south is in this direction, east is over here, east west, right? North south east west, that is the way. Now of course this is in the horizontal plane. You have seen Google Maps, right? Google Maps are in the horizontal plane. This is north, this is south, east, west, something like that. It's not north south east west over here. I'm just drawing it, right? For understanding purpose. So the person, suppose this is the point A from where he starts. So O, he starts and moves 5 kilometer east. 5 kilometer east. First displacement is 5 kilometer east. Second, then what does he do? He turns left. Now, as long as it's not mentioned that it turns up to certain angle, you consider it turns 90 degree, a sharp turn, right? Turns left. How will you turn left? Somebody tells you to turn left, you could turn complete, right? Turn left. So from here, turn left, right? So 90 degree. So here, right? He turned left. So he was going in 5 kilometers in this direction. Now he turned left. Okay. So in the north direction. So as if you are viewing him from the top. Okay. As if you have sent a drone and you are viewing him from the top position. Now, yeah, he moved to 12 kilometers in that direction. Now find the displacement from initial position. So if you see what is the displacement from the initial position, if you remember, displacement was the shortest distance from initial to final point. From initial to final point, the minimum displacement. And this angle is 90, right? This angle is 90. We know that. So 5, 12, 13, if you know the Pythagoras triplet, or otherwise a square plus b square, 12 square is 144 is equal to c square. Okay, so that is right. They have asked for displacement. So 25 plus this is 169, and 169 root is 13. So remember the squares up to 30. Okay, remember the squares, they will help you. Or even you can remember the Pythagoras triplets. Squares, remembering squares is better. Okay, so in this case they might even ask you this angle theta. Suppose they name it theta and ask you for theta, what will you do? You have to write tan theta. Okay, now you can see the direction, right? What is the direction of that vector? Northeast, right? Northeast, northeast, is it? So if you can't relate it, you have to move this vector parallel over this. Okay, just move that. Okay, get the tail over this point, get the tail to the origin of this. Okay, move it to the north south east west diagram, and you will find the direction is northeast. Okay, if you can't relate it from here, from here only I can see it's northeast. Okay, so for direction, exactly if you want this theta angle, okay, what angle it's making from that east line. So then you have to write tan theta, right? Tan theta is opposite 12 upon opposite upon adjacent. So 12 upon 5, so that does not cancel. So tan inverse, I hope you know inverse trigonometry from your math. So theta is this, right? Theta is this. So you can say perfectly, if you want to say tan inverse 12 by 5 northeast, if you want to specify the direction. This is the resultant magnitude, right? 13 kilometers. 13 kilometers it has moved, and this is the direction. It's making an angle tan inverse of, this is an angle, okay? Tan inverse of 12 by 5 in the northeast direction, okay? It's moving in the northeast direction. This angle is tan inverse by 12, tan inverse 12 by 5. Okay, you can note that down. That was easy. Okay, one more we'll try and let's wind up. Okay, last one for the day from the book of Shri H.C. Verma. Okay, the last one, the third one is from H.C. Verma. Okay, a simple one. Man or woman will die. Only man. I should guys have all the fun. Okay, so woman goes 50-meter north, again that north, south, east, west. So north she goes, then she goes 40-meter due east, sorry. From there she goes east 40 meters, and finally 20 meters due south. Okay, find the displacement from initial point. Same question. So I have options for you, so you can try it. A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. So 50 meters, 60 meters, 50, 60, 40, 50 again. Also tell me the direction. Is it northeast? Is the direction northeast of the displacement? Is it northeast? Is it north east? Okay, 60 meters northeast. Is it 40 meters southeast? Is it 50 meters southwest? Southwest. So quickly try it. It's not that difficult. You will have to, okay, try it. Okay, so again we'll draw that north, south, east, west in the wrong plane, which is the vertical plane. Actually it's in the horizontal, but we are drawing it now. Okay, so north, south, east, west there, and let's draw the story now. So she began at point O. The woman began at point O, then she went 50 meters north, 50 meters north, okay, this way, 50 meters north, okay, ma'am, 50 meters north, and where do you want to go now? She went now 40 meters east, 40 meters east, okay, from here she went 40 meters east, okay, then she went 20 meters south, so from here south, right, 20 meters south. So this is how the story looks like. Okay, I'll write somewhere here. So 20 meters south. So you are supposed to find the displacement. Displacement is the shortest distance from initial to final point. Initial is this, final is this, right? So from here to here, right? This vector you are supposed to find. Okay, and also its direction. Now you can quickly check its direction is northeast, right? Northeast, right? Northeast. If you have difficulties, just take this vector and place this over here. This is the resultant, right? Resultant of all those, the displacement, right? So you place it over here, right? It is somewhat like that, right? So the direction is northeast. So northeast, northeast. So these two are wrong, southeast and southwest. So either one of them. So you have to use now geometry logic to solve this. So you have to um, find the value of this, the distance, through using geometry logic. Okay. So I will use this logic. I have dropped a perpendicular from there. Okay, it's not a vector. I have just dropped a perpendicular. So if you see, this is a rectangle, right? Now I'm shading it. So that is a rectangle. I'll draw it outside. So I drew a perpendicular over here. So this was a rectangle, right? This whole thing here zoomed in is a rectangle. So this total is 50 meters, of course, from here to here, 50 meters. This is 20 meters, right? This is 20 meters. This is 40 meters. Now what will be this? This will be opposite sides of rectangle are equal. So this is 20, this is 20. Yes. And if this is 20, this is 30, right? 20 plus 30, 50. 20 plus 30, 50. So this is 30. So you basically have to use your geometry logic, nothing more than that. So you got one side of this triangle, you want the other side, then you can find by Pythagoras, right? This is a right angle triangle. You want to find this side, okay? This side. Now other side is 40 meters, right? Opposite sides are equal. This is a rectangle, so 40 meters. 40, 30, Pythagoras, I think it's 50, right? 3, 4, 5, just like one more zero, and yeah, 3, 4, 5. So 50 is the 50 meters northeast. Meters northeast was the answer. That was so easy. Okay, so you can note it down. I hope you would have done it by yourself also. Okay, it was a bit difficult than the other ones, but yeah, can be solved by geometry. So you'll have only problems like this where you are used where you are supposed to use the geometry logic and logic of the laws, vector laws, right? Okay, north, south, east, west problems, Pythagoras problems, and nothing much more in this. So in the next class we'll be discussing the analytical method, which is very useful because suppose two vectors are aligned at some random angle. Suppose two vectors are at 30 degree, right? Now you can find the direction of the resultant, right? No doubt, no doubt. You can find the direction of the resultant. Suppose I'll draw it big. This is A, okay, and suppose I'm taking B to be this way. Okay, so by triangle law you can find the direction of the resultant. Okay, fine. Suppose this angle is 120 degree, right? Now you can't use simple you can use, but that will be tedious. Every time it will be much and much more, you'll go into calculation. So we'll have a formula to find the resultant of this, the magnitude. You can find the direction by triangle law or parallelogram law, but to find the magnitude you'll have a certain formula, and that will make our job easier. So the next lecture will be much more I'll say applicative as far as your competition exams are concerned. But today was the foundation of tomorrow. Okay, so today was the foundation of the next upcoming lecture. You can note this down, note that problem down. Okay, I'll remove this. Ding, ding. Okay, so you can note that down. Okay, that's all for today's lecture. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you soon in the next class. Till then, keep enjoying physics.